Good morning, members, and welcome to this annual meeting today, Thursday. I will try and speak up. Is that any better? Good morning and welcome to this annual council meeting today, Thursday the 20th of May 2021. My name is Councillor Mark Hurd and I am the Chairman of Malden District Council. There are a few housekeeping issues to run through. The setup of this meeting has been designed to mitigate for COVID, and we ask members to work to the protocols agreed at the council meeting on the 29th of April 2021 in the interest of member and officer safety. This meeting will be streamed live and recorded, and by being present in the meeting, recorded. Members and officers, during each item, please hold up the indicator on the desk in front of you to indicate if you wish to speak. I will then invite you at the appropriate time. Members, this process this morning will obviously be different, and for some items, I may invite each member to speak in turn. Therefore, I would encourage all members to keep your contributions as clear and concise as possible, please. When invited to speak, please remain seated, remove your mask, put on your visor, and speak clearly. When speaking and referring to the agenda papers, please ensure you reference a page or paragraph number. Thank you very much. I move on now to agenda item 2, which is the election of chairman for this municipal year. And I call for nominations for chairman of the council for this year. Councillor Nunn.
Yes, good morning, Chairman. I'd like to nominate you to continue in the position as Chairman.
Thank you very much. Is there a seconder for that? Councillor Mays, thank you very much. Are there any other nominations? Councillor Morley.
Mark Durham.
Is that seconded?
Seconded, Chairman.
Okay, I'll take these in. Are there any other nominations? I will take these in turn then. And we will go to the vote. Could I ask for those in favour of myself to please show?
Recorded vote, please.
Is a recorded vote, is that seconded? It is not seconded, so could I have a show of hands, please? 1, 2, 3. Oh, are you able to do this, Tara? Thank you.
Well, Chairman.
And Tara, did you get Miss Alvin right?
Yeah. Oh, 13 including the Chairman, sorry.
Thank you very much.
13.
I don't, yeah.
Sorry, members, could you just hold your papers again, please? Thank you.
4, 2, 3.
14.
15.
I'm sorry, members, it is very difficult with this. Could I just ask you once more?
Should have done a recorded vote.
If you could put your paddles down as I call you. So, Councillor Edwards, Councillor Swain, Councillor Baxenger, Councillor Shaughnessy, Councillor Stevens, Councillor Beale, Councillor Bell, Councillor Siddle, Councillor Skeens, Councillor Lagan, Councillor Nunn, Councillor Mays, and Councillor Stills,
Councillor Stamp.
Councillor Stamp, and Councillor Hurd.
15. Thank you, Chairman.
15 was that?
Yeah.
15, thank you. Could I now ask you to show for Councillor Durham, please?
Chairman, you need to vote against the councillor yourself.
Yes, I'm sorry. Those against, please show. Okay, thank you. So I'll call them again so that we're clear. Councillor Keys, Councillor Morley, Councillor Durham, Councillor Thompson, Councillor Stamp, Councillor Fleming, not Councillor Stamp, sorry, Councillor Channer, sorry. Councillor Helm, Councillor Fleming, Councillor Fluker, Councillor Deal, and, sorry, I can't see them there.
Councillor Hughes.
Councillor Hoover, I'm so sorry, Councillor Hoover. And Councillor Hull. 12. Okay, thank you. Any abstentions? One abstention, thank you. Two abstentions, thank you.
Best looking.
In that case, that is agreed. Thank you, members. Thank you, members, for your confidence. I now move to a vote for the election of the Vice Chairman of the Council. Do I have, from the Chair, I would like to nominate Councillor Carly Mays.
Second that, Chairman, please.
Seconded by Councillor Stamp. Thank you. Are there any other nominations? No other nominations. In that case,
We need to do the declaration.
yes, indeed. I'm reminded that I have to, in order that I can do this legally, I have to make the declaration of acceptance. So I, Mark Stephen Hurd, having been elected to the office of Chairman of the Council of the District of Malden, declare that I will take that office upon myself and I will duly and faithfully fulfil the duties of it according to the best of my judgment and ability. I undertake to observe the code as to the conduct which is expected of members of Malden District Council. I will sign that now. I now move to the election of the Vice Chairman of the Council, and from the Chair I will nominate Councillor Carly Mays. Is that seconded? Councillor Nunn, thank you very much. Are there any other nominations? In that case, can we take a vote on that, please? Those in favour, please show. And those against? Right, that Councillor Mays is the Vice Chair of Malden District Council. Congratulations. I'll now ask her to complete the declaration of acceptance of office.
I, Carly Mays, having been elected to the office of Vice Chairman of the Council of the District of Malden, declare that I take the office upon myself and will duly and faithfully fulfil the duties of it according to the best of my judgment and ability. I undertake to observe the code as to the conduct which is expected of members of Malden District Council. Shall I sign this?
Yes, if you could
Mr. Chairman, shall I
sign.
sign this one or shall I sign that one?
We'll sign that afterwards.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Councillor Mays. Congratulations upon your appointment. I'll move on now to agenda item number 6, which is apologies for absence. Please may I have those, Tara?
Chairman, apologies have been received from Councillor Boyce, Councillor Jewett and Councillor Boyd. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Agenda item number 7, declarations of interest. To disclose the existence and nature of any disclosable pecuniary interests, other pecuniary interests or non-pecuniary interests relating to items of business on the agenda having regard to paragraphs 6 to 8 inclusive of the Code of Conduct for members, and members are reminded that they are also required to disclose any such interest as soon as they become aware should the need arise throughout the meeting. Any declarations of interest? Councillor Skeens.
So I just wanted to clarify something you just said. You said paragraph 6 to 8, but in front of me I think I've got paragraph 8 to 12. Just wanted to make sure we got this accurate.
Okay, that is noted. Thank you very much. Councillor Durham.
Thank you, Chairman. I'm not purely interested as a member of Essex County Council. Yes,
Thank you. Councillor Stan.
Yeah, same as Councillor Durham, non-pecuniary interest and member of Essex County Council.
Thank you. Councillor Fleming.
I'm non-pecuniary member of Essex.
I'm sorry, I didn't quite hear that.
Non-pecuniary member of Essex.
Thank you very much. Are there any other declarations, members? No, thank you very much. Agenda item 8, minutes of the meeting of the Council on the 18th of March. It is recommended that the minutes of the meeting held on the 18th of March 2021, found on pages 7 to 20, are approved as a true and accurate record. I so move. Do I have a second? Councillor Mays, thank you. If any member wishes to raise any matter of accuracy, then please can they indicate they wish to speak? Thank you. Can I take it, members, that you agree those by assent? Thank you very much. Agenda item 9, minutes of the Council, 29th of April 2021. It's recommended that the minutes of the extraordinary meeting held on the 29th of April 2021 and found on pages 21 to 26 are approved as a true and accurate record. I so move. Do I have a seconder? Councillor Mays, thank you. Can we agree those by assent, members? Thank you very much. Agenda item 10, public questions. There are none. Number 11, agenda item 11, Chairman's announcements. I have none, other than to thank you for your presence and indeed to the staff who have set up this meeting this morning. I do thank them. Agenda item 12, the minute book, and we move to this minute book, which is found on pages 27 to 32. This is the performance, governance and audit for the 24th of March 2021. They're found on pages 27 to 32. Councillor Mrs Stilts to present the minutes, please.
Chairman, members of the Council, I present the minutes of the Performance, Governance and Audit Committee held remotely on the 24th of March 2021. These are found on pages 27 to 32, and I propose their reception and adoption. I so move.
Thank you. Is that seconded?
I second that, Chairman.
Councillor Jarvis, thank you very much. If any member wishes to raise any matter of accuracy, then please indicate that you wish to speak. May I take it that we agree those by assent?
Agreed.
Thank you very much. Agenda item 13, minutes of meetings of the Council. This is to note that since the last meeting of the Council and up until Wednesday, the 12th of May 2021, the committees listed have met, and to receive any questions in accordance with Council and Committee Procedure Rule 6.2. If any member wishes to raise a question in relation to the minutes of this meeting, please make this known. I have none. Members, please can you confirm you're happy to note these minutes? Is that everybody's happy?
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you very much. Agenda item 14, notice of motion. In accordance with notice duly given under Procedure Rule 4, Councillor Helm has proposed 3 motions which are set out on page 3 of the agenda pack. Councillor Helm, would you please read out your motions?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is the first time I've put a motion forward.
Councillor Helm, you don't have to stand up at this meeting. If,
Well, I want to be heard.
okay, man.
This is the first time I've put motions to the council in 10 years of serving on this council. It's done in the interest of honesty and transparency. Motion 1. To prevent filibustering 15 minutes allocated questions to the leader applies only to the time taken by the member to ask questions and not the time taken for a reply to be made. Motion 2. In the best interest of public understanding, the policy of administration. If the leader of the council is unable to answer a question put to them during questions to the leader should not defer, but provide a written response to council. Motion 3. That an answer to the question to the leader is included in the agenda of all council meetings. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Councillor Helm. Councillor Fluker, you have seconded this motion. Do you wish to add or say anything?
Chairman, I'll speak last.
Thank you very much. Do I have any members who wish to speak on this matter? Councillor Siddle.
Thank you, Chairman. It's quite interesting in terms of Councillor Helm's justification for bringing this motion to the council and for these changes. He's told us just now that he's not brought a motion to this council in 10 years. So it's interesting that in those 10 years, he was a member of the previous administration. Therefore, if these motions were important at that time, they should have been included at this time. So therefore, I do not understand why these need to be considered now, and therefore I am against these motions.
Thank you very much. Councillor Lagan.
Thank you, Chairman. When the motion came forward, and I thank the council for the motion. Look at filibustering, which I must confess is not something a word that jumped out to me, my understanding. And when I looked at it, I thought, well, really, it's mostly about parliamentary procedure and this debate, which I can actually understand. And this is a district council. So I think that, it's great that the leader can confirm for the first motion. So I think that the leader has the opportunity to answer a question. I think we're able. I think the second part of the motion as well about not defer. I don't know any leader, any person who's got superhuman powers. I think even Boris Johnson, with the COVID problems that he's had to defer to chief medical officers and many other people who are experts. We have officers who are experts, we have other members who are experts, so they'd be right and proper to defer. And it would be the right thing to do to support our understanding as members and also members of the public. And motion 3, you can ask the leader of the council at any time a question. So I can't see why we would want to take up valuable council time to ask a question when a question can be asked and an answer given. So, like Councillor Siddle, I'm afraid I can't support this motion. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Councillor Lagan. Councillor Morris.
Thank you. I'd just like to ask Councillor Helm if he actually knows what the word filibustering means. I don't think it's a word that's, it would be in his vocabulary. I'm actually in favour because I don't think there's such a bad thing as a bad question. You can't really have a bad question. We don't talk enough on this council. We don't debate enough on this council. This council isn't actually run by the councillors. It's run by insidious officers. So whilst I am in favour of some of these motions, I propose that an amendment is put in so that each one of them is voted on individually, because I do believe that the officers should be able to speak if asked to by the leader, but I'm fully in favour of having questions to not just the leader, but to everyone. So I'll be in support of this motion. Thank you.
Thank you. I'll go to Councillor Channing next.
Thank you, I'm pretty sure I can't see now. Chairman, can I just say, regarding the matter of the revision letter to all members, that is nothing new, so I would support that. And equally, the questions to the leader, I think the intention is that officers should necessarily come into the equation. Having a written answer, and I think myself, coming historically the authority, I've seen before, as the chairman of the committee that was the way to do things, and also then send around the committee. So it makes, there won't necessarily be questions that take up 15 minutes, and actually by the written response is helpful, I would think, to any leader. It certainly was to me. I think I did recall when I was leader giving written responses, because you can't have all the information to hand, and it's nothing new to this authority. It has gone on, and it is a helpful way actually to help the leader. They compose the full response if not able to do it in the meeting. So the motions are relatively sound in their object. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you very much. Councillor Thompson.
Oh, thank you, Chairman. Councillor Cannon's already made my points, and I'll pass.
Thank you. Councillor Schemes.
Thank you, Chair. Two things. I think this motion is just a sort of political manoeuvring, and I won't be supporting it. I've also got a problem with something that Councillor Morris said, who described the council as run by insidious officers. I just think that's unfair and uncalled for, and I would ask for him to withdraw it, but I know that he won't. But I just want to say that I have a lot of respect for the officers we have here, who do work incredibly hard. Thank you.
Can I come back to that, please, Chair?
I will allow you to come back, yes.
Thank you, Councillor Schemes. And whilst we do have some good officers, we also have a lot of officers that are acting insidiously and corruptly. And I will say that, and I'll continue to say that. I have proof of that. And the imminent discrimination case that is coming before this council will prove that. So,
what is your point of order, Councillor Tanner?
Lord Chairman, I'm sorry, this is about the process. I find these comments being made offensive, Chairman, and they should be made within this arena about the officers in the manner they are.
I have a freedom to speak.
Yes,
and I will speak.
I agree with that. Councillor Morris, are you prepared to withdraw your remark about the staff?
Not on your Nelly, fella.
Okay, thank you very much. Councillor Stamp.
Okay, thank you. I hope you can hear me. I would like to say I find that those remarks very offensive, because the officers are not in a position to reply. Debate is where somebody can to and fro. Now, that accusation that has been made, whether you feel it's your right to, and whether you feel it's the officers are sitting there, disgracing them. And I chose dozens of times to come back on that one. Of the cherry this time.
They are welcome
Right,
to
okay.
and therefore speak.
Councillor Siddle.
Thank you, Chairman. I'd just like to sort of talk about what Councillor Chandler just said. It is useful that we do get written responses from the leader if that is necessary. However, the motion states that the leader does not defer. So that means the leader would not be able to speak to the officers. Situation. So, one of the things I'd like to say, and I think we should all bear this in mind, is that just recently the council adopted values. Those values are the thing that should guide us all. And when I hear comments that do not abide by those values, then that is something that we all need to look at ourselves. So we need to ensure that all of us are abiding by the values that are now set for both officers and members. And part of that is we may have different views, but we should all respect each other and show respect. Thank you.
Well, I agree with that, thank you. Councillor Fleming.
Thank you, Chairman. I just wanted to, I can't see Mr. Welch, is he here?
He's here, yes.
Ah, there we are. I just wanted his opinion as to whether the motion to change the constitution at all, and whether in his opinion this paper should go to the governance working group.
Mr. Crouch.
Chairman, I mean, the constitution is silent on this point. It's cut, insofar as there is anything in the constitution, it's rule 1 little m of the council procedure rules, which actually says questions which may be made without notice to the leader of the council or his deputy leader, other than the annual meeting, and which are effectively budget meetings as well, for a maximum of 15 minutes and not beyond 10 o'clock. Now, that's all it says. that questions may be put for a period of 15 minutes, not at annual meeting, and not at budget meeting. So insofar as the motions want something on the agenda, all of agendas, for all councils, that is changing little m in relation to no questions to the leader at annual meeting and at budget meeting. Insofar as the others are concerned, I would just say that that's a matter for noting in the council's minute book. It is something obviously the council will need to abide by if it's carried. So I wouldn't say it actually physically changes the constitution other than in relation to the annual meeting being included and the budget meeting being included in questions to the leader.
Thank you. Councillor Nunn.
Yes, thank you very much, Chairman. Having been an officer for some years and now a member, I don't really understand the logic behind motion 2. If we voted in favour of this, surely we're tying down unnecessarily, aren't we? Because none of us, the leader or any member here, can be an expert technically in every subject. But we do have technical experts with the officers. And surely that's why they're employed and why they attend meetings. Otherwise, what's the purpose of them being here at all? So I wouldn't profess in any shape or form to know things about everything, and I would defer to an officer to give me technical support. So for that reason, I certainly can't support motion 2. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Councillor, any other member wish to speak before I go to Councillor Whittaker? Councillor Whittaker.
Thank you, Chairman. Before I actually see the motions and things about can I start?
I'm sorry, I can't quite hear you.
While I'm standing up, you know I'm actually quite a quiet person. Can I start, Chairman, by associating myself with the comments made by Councillor Siddle? So these motions have been taken in the spirit of best interest, openness, transparency and democracy. And we often forget this when we debate the best interests of our residents, businesses and customers who we are all accountable to. The political administration of Ordinary Council does not have an overall majority. And that sense is especially important that members are given every opportunity to question the policy of the administration. It should also be noted that questions to the leader provides members with the opportunity to question the leader on any issues, including those that affect the laws, and can provide a fast-track route regarding the support of councils for specific issues that might affect residents, businesses and customers. Chairman, I speak to motion 1. Given the complexity of the issues that the councils now face, and in particular with regards to their and the potential use of council assets to promote growth, several members may in turn wish to ask questions of the leader. Under the current to answer. Because of this time constraint, the chairman, and it was in fact you, Chairman, has previously found himself in a vigorous position to decide whether to end this session or not. If this motion, which applies to the length of time used to answer questions, only is agreed, then members should keep in mind that this agenda item is for asking questions of the leader only, and not for anything else. And that's 15 minutes require ample time for members to ask questions, all members, Chair, to ask questions if they wish. With regards to motion 2, Chair, questions to the leader is just that. If a question is put to the leader, it should be answered by the leader in their capacity of the political head of the council. Officers, with their operational obligations and duties, discharge the policy of the council and do not set it, therefore cannot answer questions on policy. A good analogy of this would be Prime Minister's questions. And I'm sure you will watch it on Wednesday. The Prime Minister never defers. He never defers to a civil servant. He never defers to a permanent secretary. And if he can't answer a question, he always says that he'll contact over with
I'll have to ask you to wind up now, please.
Yeah, I'm just going to motion.
Are you filibustering?
Chairman, I do understand that as a time space, the council has in the past chosen not to agendise questions to do with the agenda. If a member needs to ask, then why shouldn't there be a full opportunity? For example, Chairman,
to the vote now, unless any other member who hasn't previously spoken wishes to speak.
You can let me speak, Mark.
Okay, so can I ask for those members who are who wish to vote in favour of these? Or first of all, Councillor Morris did ask for an amendment. Is that seconded?
sorry, Chairman, I didn't hear what you said.
Councillor Morris asked for an amendment to these motions. Is that seconded?
Yes, it was. Thank you, Councillor Bell.
As it is an amendment, I'll hear what you've got to say, Councillor Morris. What is your amendment?
Thank you. Firstly, I'd like to just say that isn't it funny and ironic how Councillor Fluker, who in his time as leader, never answered a single question. Did you go? I believe that some of these points, the first and third point, do have merit, but I would be against the second part of the motion. So I would ask that we vote on each one separately. And thank you, Councillor Bell, for seconding that.
Right. Okay. So we have.
I'll second that.
Sorry, Councillor Howard, I didn't hear what you said.
And I'll second that.
Yes, so they should be voted on separately.
Okay, members, we will then vote on motion one. Those in favour, right, Councillor Key. Councillor Dower, Councillor Thompson, Councillor Morley, Councillor Chan, Councillor Fenny, Councillor Luke, Councillor Morris,
Is this a recorded vote?
This is a recorded vote, yes. Councillor Members, could I just ask if you say against or for?
Or abstain.
Or abstain, yes, thank you. And this is on motion 1.
Councillor Bisfield.
Councillor Beale is for.
Can you point us out? Can we start this, please, Chair?
I don't think there's any doubt.
I don't think there's any doubt. Councillor Passenger is against, Councillor Beale is for.
Confused.
Could you carry on with the list, please?
Councillor Brian Hill.
For.
Councillor Bell.
Against.
Councillor Mrs. Shannon. For. Councillor Durham.
For.
Councillor Edwards.
Against.
Councillor Mrs. Fleming. For. Councillor Creeper.
For.
Councillor Hurd.
Against.
Councillor Helm.
For.
Councillor Hoover.
For.
Councillor Hull. For. Councillor Jarvis.
Against.
Councillor Keys.
For.
Councillor Nugent.
Against.
Councillor Mays.
Against.
Councillor Morley.
For.
Councillor Nunn.
Against.
Councillor Shaughnessy.
Who's that?
Sorry, apologies, Councillor Morris.
Councillor Morris is for.
Apologies, Councillor Morris.
Thank you.
Councillor Shaughnessy. Thank you. Councillor Still.
Against.
Councillor Dean.
Against.
Councillor Sam.
Against.
Councillor Stevens.
Against.
Councillor Mrs. Silk.
Against.
Councillor Swain.
Against.
Councillor Mrs. Thompson. For. Councillor, the chairman, that means
Against.
Councillor Keys.
For.
Councillor Langham.
Against.
Councillor Mays.
Against.
Councillor Morley.
For.
Councillor Morris.
Against.
Councillor Nunn.
Against.
Councillor Shaughnessy.
Against.
Councillor Siddle.
Against.
Councillor Skeens.
Against.
Councillor Stamp.
Against.
Councillor Stevens.
Against.
Councillor Mrs. Stilts.
Against.
Councillor Swain.
Against.
Councillor Mrs. Thompson. For. Chairman, the results of that are 11 for and 17 against and no abstentions. Thank you.
Thank you, that has failed then. We move on to motion 3. Could we have the roll call again, please?
Mr. Chairman, starting Councillor Passenger.
Against.
Councillor Bisfield. For. Councillor Brownfield.
Against.
Councillor Bell.
Against.
Councillor Helm.
For.
Councillor Hoover.
For.
Councillor Hull. For. Councillor Jarvis.
Against.
Councillor Keys.
For.
Councillor Nugent.
Against.
Councillor Mays.
Against.
Councillor Morley.
For.
Councillor Morris.
For.
Councillor Nunn.
Against.
Councillor Shaughnessy.
Against.
Councillor Siddle.
Against.
Councillor Skeens.
Against.
Councillor Stamp.
Against.
Councillor Stevens.
Against.
Councillor Mrs. Stilts.
Against.
Councillor Swain.
Against.
Councillor Mrs. Thompson. For. Chairman, the results of that are 12 for, 16 against and no abstentions. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you, that has failed then. We move on to agenda item 15, questions in accordance with procedure 6.2, of which notice has been given. I can confirm there are We move on to agenda item 16, leaders and composition of political groups. And these have been circulated today and found in the supplementary pack, pages 3 and 4. The recommendations are set out in this report as follows: that the Council considers ratification of the leader designate as leader of the Council, that in the event that the Council does not confirm the leader designate, to elect the leader of the Council, and 3, that the Council elects the deputy leader of the Council. I move the recommendation which is set out in the report, that the Council considers ratification of the leader designate, Councillor Wendy Stamp, as leader of the Council. Is that seconded? Councillor Mays, thank you very much. I will now take a vote on that, or are you happy to agree that by assent? Thank you very much. We move on now to the election of the deputy leader designate, and I move that the Council considers ratification of the deputy leader designate, Councillor Stephen Nunn, as deputy leader of the Council. Is that seconded? Confirmation of the appointment
that member nomination to appoint a non-aligned member, as before, and we Thank you, Councillor Jarvis.
Okay, thank you. Members, we'll move on to agenda item 18, which is the adjournment of this meeting. So I intend to adjourn this meeting at 10:48 to allow the following meetings of the council to take place. That is performance governance. Please, the members.
Mr. Chair.
Mr. Dodson, could you please call out those members who will be sitting on the Performance Governance and Audit Committee?
Yes, thank you, Chairman. Councillor
In that case, I declare that Councillor Stilts is appointed as chairman of Performance Governance and Audit Committee, and I will now hand over to her as chairman of that committee.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I would like to call for nominations for Vice Chair of the Performance Governance and Audit Committee, and from the Chair, I would like to nominate Councillor Jarvis.
I second that.
Seconded by Those against, please show. Those abstaining. Councillor Morley, Councillor Durham, Councillor Thompson. In that case, I declare that Councillor Richard Siddle is appointed as chairman of the Strategy and Resources Committee, and I now hand over to him as chairman.
Thank you very much, Chairman. I would now like to put forward the nominations for Vice Chair of Strategy and Resources Special Meeting. From the Chair, I would like to nominate Councillor Swain. Do I have a seconder, please?
Do I have a seconder for that, Councillor?
Councillor Misfield, Councillor Hubner, Councillor Morley, Councillor Dewitt, and Councillor Helm.
Thank you. I will now call for nominations of chairman of Overview and Scrutiny. Councillor Mays.
I would like to nominate Councillor Vanessa Bell.
Councillor Vanessa Bell, is that seconded? Councillor Skeens, thank you very much. Are there any other nominations? Councillor Beale.
Councillor Jane Fleming.
Is that seconded?
She's not on that committee.
Not on that committee. In that case, I will move to the vote. Those in favour of Councillor Vanessa Bell being chairman of Overview and Scrutiny, please show. Councillor Bassinger, Councillor Bell, Councillor Skeens, Councillor Mays. Those against? Councillor Hell. I therefore declare that Councillor Bell is hereby appointed as chairman of that committee, and I hand over to her.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'd like to call for nominations for Vice Chair, and from the Chair, I would like to nominate Councillor Carly Mays. Do I have a seconder?
Is that seconded?
I'll second that.
Councillor Skeens, thank you. Any other nominations? In that case, Councillor Bell, I presume you're going to declare.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I declare the meeting, special meeting over scrutiny closed. Thank you.
Thank you for that, and the meeting will be closed at 10:59. Special meeting of the JSC, Leader.
Before we move on, can I ask Mr Quelch and the directors for a procedural matter? I'm a little bit confused whether Councillor Beale could have seconded Councillor Durham's proposal on licensing because she doesn't sit on that committee.
I seconded it.
Hang on, thank you for that, but I just need to make sure that the process has been followed, so then it doesn't come back that the process hasn't been followed. So Mr Quelch and the directors, could I have confirmation that that previous nomination on licensing does adhere to the rules, please?
Yeah, Lee, you're correct. If the member wasn't on the committee, then they can't second.
So where does that leave us, please? Because I know the motion failed, or the recommendation.
Well, it failed, didn't it? And it failed. So that's the important. If it succeeded, then there will be an issue.
That's correct, but can we have it noted in the minutes, please, that that was rectified? Thank you.
Thank you. We'll move on now to special meeting of the Joint Standards Committee. Mr Dodson, could I have the names, please?
Yes. Councillor Bassinger, Councillor Mays, Councillor Nunn, Councillor Siddle, Councillor Miss Beale, Councillor Mrs Fleming, Councillor Dewey, and Councillor Jarvis.
Thank you. I call for nominations for chairman of the Joint Standards Committee. Councillor Mays.
I'd like to propose Councillor Mark Bassinger.
Is that seconded? Councillor Nunn, thank you very much. I will now take that for the vote. Those in favour of any other nominations? No. I'll now go for the vote. Those in favour of Councillor Bassinger, please show. Councillor Bassinger, Councillor Mays, Councillor Nunn, Councillor Siddle, Councillor Jarvis. Those against? There are none. In that case, I declare that Councillor Mark Bassinger is Chair of Joint Standards Committee, and I will now hand over to him for Vice Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I would like to call for nomination for Vice Chair of the Joint Standards Committee, and from the Chair, I would like to propose Councillor Fleming. Are there any other nominations?
Is that seconded, first of all?
Oh, sorry.
Councillor Mays, thank you very much. Any other nominations? There are none.
Thank you, Chairman. Then I declare Councillor Fleming as Vice Chair of the Joint Standards Committee, and I close the Joint Standards Committee meeting. Oh no, sorry, it's got to be seconded, isn't it? No. I close the meeting.
Thank you. Closed. Yes, Councillor Skeens.
Yes, I've had a message from somebody saying that there's a problem with the sound quality. I'm just hoping that that might be addressed. Thank you.
I will endeavour to make sure that I'm heard both in name and nature.
No, that was a member of the public following online.
Okay.
Having trouble hearing everything.
Thank you very much. Hopefully our IT staff will be looking at that. Yes, I see.
Chairman, the IT staff have confirmed that that issue's been resolved.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'm going to move on now to a special meeting of the Investigation and Disciplinary Committee. Mr Dawson, could I have the names, please?
Councillor Bell, Councillor Hurd, Councillor Stamp, Councillor Stevens, Councillor Swain, Councillor Mrs Hull, Councillor Mrs Thompson, Councillor Miss White, Councillor Boyce,
and Councillor Jarvis.
Thank you. I now call on nominations for chairman of this committee. Do I have any proposals? Councillor Stan.
I'd like to propose Councillor Vanessa Bell.
Thank you. Do I have a seconder for that, please? Councillor Swain. Thank you very much. Are there any other nominations? Councillor Hubner.
I'd like to propose Councillor Channer.
Is that seconded?
She's not on that.
I'll second myself, Chairman, if that's okay.
Are you on that committee, Councillor Channer?
My name is Renal, isn't it?
No.
Oh, sorry.
We're on the-
Excuse me, Chairman.
This is the special meeting of the Investigation and Disciplinary Committee.
Sorry, Chairman, that's not correct. So you just read, the names have just been read out for the Investigating and Disciplinary Panel, not the Investigating and Disciplinary Committee. The Investigating and Disciplinary Committee does not seem to be on the agenda, Chairman.
It's not.
I'll put it in front of
I'm sorry, it's not on my page. So I'd like,
Sorry.
Go on.
Mr. Dodds.
Chairman, I apologise. I've read out, as Councillor Siddle said, the list of the panel, not the committee. If I can confirm the members of the Investigating and Disciplinary Committee, Councillor Siddle, Councillor Nunn, Councillor Mrs. Channer, Councillor Hubner, and Councillor Helen.
Thank you very much. So from those five members, I now call for nominations of chairman of that committee. Do I have any nominations?
Councillor Channer.
Councillor Hubner.
I propose Councillor Channer.
Councillor Channer, is that seconded?
I'll second myself then. I thought there were two nominations for me, but.
Okay, I have one nomination. Are there any other nominations? Councillor Stan.
Yes, I'd like to propose Councillor Siddle.
Sorry, you're not a member of that
Oh,
committee.
sorry, yeah.
Right, okay.
Thank you, Councillor Siddle.
Councillor Nunn.
In which case, as a member, I will nominate Councillor Siddle.
Councillor Nunn is nominating Councillor Siddle. Is that seconded?
Oh, well, I'll second myself.
Okay, I'll take Councillor Hubner's proposal first. Those in favour of Councillor Channer, please show. Councillor Hubner, Councillor Howard, Councillor Channer. Those against? Those abstaining? I have one. Okay. In that case, I declare that Councillor Channer becomes chairman of the Investigation and Disciplinary Panel.
Committee.
And I hand over to her. Councillor Channer.
Thank you very much, Chairman. Thank you very much for appointing me as chairman of this committee for this current municipal year. And from the chair, I call for nominations for the vice chairman of the committee. And from the chair, I propose Bruce Hubner to be the chairman of the Islands Committee for this municipal year.
What?
Vice Chair.
Vice Chair.
Vice Chair.
Vice chairman for this municipal year. Is that seconded? Yes, there's two.
Seconded by Councillor Howard.
There's two here going up, Chairman, I saw panels.
Is that agreed?
Is there any more, I haven't any other nominations, Chairman, I have to do that. Are there any other nominations?
There are none.
In that case, being no further nominations, I hereby declare that Councillor Bruce Hubner be the Vice Chairman of the Investigation and Disciplinary Committee for this current municipal year, and there being no further business, Chairman, I close the meeting at 11:10. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Where are we next? Right, I don't have that on my papers. So, Investigation and Disciplinary Panel.
Mr. Chairman, that's
that's not on the agenda. Those are the names that Mr Dodson read out previously, and that, so I believe I'm all notes to chair. But that isn't actually on today's agenda.
All right, thank you. We'll move on to the special meeting of the Planning Committee.
District.
District Planning Committee, yes. Could I have the names, please, Mr Dodson?
Chairman, that's all members of the council.
Right, okay. In that case, I call for. Okay, I'm told that is except Councillor Fluker. So therefore, I call for nominations for chairman of this committee. Councillor Mays.
I propose that Councillor Mark Hurd is chairman.
Is that seconded?
I'll second that.
Councillor Skeens, thank you very much. Are there any other nominations? There are none. Can we agree that by assent, members?
Agreed.
Thank you very much. So as the newly elected chairman, I now call for nominations for vice chairman of that. And from the chair, I nominate Councillor Carly Mays. Is that seconded?
Seconded.
Councillor Stills. Thank you very much. Therefore, are there any other nominations? I therefore declare that Councillor Mays is appointed as vice chairman, and I close this meeting at 11:11. The next is a special meeting of the Central Planning Committee. Please may I have the names, Mr Dodson?
Councillor Edwards, Councillor Hurd, Councillor Lagan, Councillor Mays, Councillor Nunn, Councillor Chauncey, Councillor Silts, Councillor Swain, Councillor Miss Field, Councillor Hubner, and Councillor Morris.
Thank you. I now call for nominations to chairman of the Central Planning Committee for the municipal year of May 2022. Councillor Stilts.
I'd like to nominate Councillor Michael Edwards as the chair.
Thank you. Is that seconded? Councillor Swain. Are there any other nominations? Councillor Morris.
Yes, Chair, I'd just like to ask, can we exclude Councillor Morris on this because he's far too good looking?
Are there any other nominations? In that case, can we agree that Councillor Edwards becomes chairman of the Central Planning Committee by assent? Thank you. I therefore declare that he is so appointed, and I hand over to him as chairman of the committee.
Thank you, Chairman and members. I therefore call for nominations to appoint a vice chairman of the Central Area Planning Committee for the municipal year 2021 to 2022. From chair, I would like to nominate Councillor Stills.
Thank you. Is that seconded? I see it is by Councillor Mays. Are there any other nominations?
Are there any other nominations?
Single one.
Sorry about that. You're the chair.
As there are no other nominations, I therefore declare Councillor Stilts as vice chairman of the Central Area Planning Committee. As there is no other business, I close this meeting at 20:30. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Edwards. I now move on to the Northwest Planning Committee, Northwestern Area Planning Committee. Could I have the names, please, Mr Dodson?
Councillor Siddle, Councillor Stevens, Councillor Durham, Councillor Mrs Fleming, Councillor Keys, Councillor Morley, Councillor Mrs Thompson, Councillor Miss White, Councillor Jarvis.
Thank you. I will now call for nominations to chairman of the Northwest Area Planning Committee for the municipal year up to May 22. Is there any nominations? Councillor Fleming.
I would like to nominate Councillor Thompson.
Councillor Thompson has been nominated. Is that seconded? Seconded by Councillor Keys. Are we able to agree that by assent, members? Agreed. Oh, right. Okay, thank you. In that case, I declare that Councillor Thompson is therefore appointed as chairman, and I hand over to her.
Thank you, Chair, and members. The only item is to nominate a vice chair of the committee for the ensuing municipal year, and from the chair I'd like to nominate Councillor Keys.
I'll second that.
I bet you didn't hear that about Councillor Fleming, Chair.
Seconded by Councillor Fleming, was that?
Yes.
Yes, okay.
I'll bring on the nominations for vice chair.
There are none.
There are none, thank you, Chairman, and so I declare Councillor Keys as vice chair of the board of the committee to municipal year and focus.
Thank you. 11:15, I have that. I now move to a special meeting of the South East Area Planning. Could I have the names, please, Mr. Dodson?
Councillor Bassinger, Councillor Brian Beale, Councillor Bell, Councillor Skeens, Councillor Stamp, Councillor Mrs Channer, Councillor Mrs Hull, Councillor Boyce, Councillor Dewitt and Councillor Helm.
Thank you. I will now call for nominations to chairman of the South East Area Planning Committee. Councillor Stamp.
Thank you, Chair. I'd like to propose Councillor Vanessa Bell.
Is that seconded?
I'll
Yes,
second
by
that.
Councillor Skeens. Thank you. Are there any other nominations? Councillor Channer.
Chairman, I'd like to propose Councillor Mrs Anne Hull.
Is that seconded?
I'll second that.
Councillor Howell, thank you very much. I will take Councillor Stamp's proposal first. Those in favour of Councillor Vanessa Bell being the chairman of South East Area Planning, please show. That's Councillor Bassinger, Councillor Bell, Councillor Skeens, Councillor Beale, Councillor Stamp. Those against? Councillor Helm, Councillor Channer, Councillor Hull. That has failed then. I therefore declare that Councillor Vanessa Bell is hereby appointed as chairman of South East Area Planning, and I hand over to her.
Thank you, Mr Chairman. So I would like to call for nominations for vice chair, please, and from the chair I would like to nominate Councillor Skeens.
Is that seconded? It is by Councillor Stamp. Sorry, I'm taking your.
Are there any other nominations for vice chair? Councillor Channer.
Councillor Channer, yes.
Yeah, I'll nominate Councillor Anne Hull.
A seconder?
I'll second that.
Councillor Helm seconded. So if we could take a vote then, please. So I believe it's just Councillor Skeens first. Those in favour of Councillor Skeens.
2, 3, 4, 5. Those against, show please. 1, 2, 3.
I believe that is carried then.
That is carried.
Thank you. So there being no further business, I declare the special meeting of South East Area Planning Committee closed at 11:17, I believe.
Thank you very much, and thank you members for your favor. Yes, Councillor Thompson.
I wonder if this might be a good time to ask if we can have
Yes, Councillor Mays.
I would like to second that.
Okay. Yes, we'll have a short break then, if we may. Could I ask members to be mindful of the COVID restrictions, and please to be careful.
What time should we be
Yes,
back?
Councillor Channer.
Chairman, I've had a message from a member of the public, has asked me to inform you that the YouTube sound is not working properly, but it's improved, members of the public don't seem to be able to picking up.
Okay, we'll look at that during the break. So could I have back at 11:30, please?
Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you.
In order and file.
Thank you, members. I've I have had various comments. Thank you, members. I've had various comments about the sound quality. I've taken instruction, and as I'm constantly speaking, and this is a workplace, I'm able not to wear a mask. So, members, we will now resume the business of the Annual Council at 11:31. Members, now that we have confirmed the Chairman's appointments, we need to return to agenda item 17, which is the appointment of members of committees of the Council to confirm membership of the Appointments Board. Yes, that's all right. If the leader of the Councillor, Mrs. Channer, as leader of the opposition, I believe that we now need an additional nomination from the Conservative group. This is for the appointment of the Appointments Board. Yes, Councillor Channer.
Yes, Chairman, to take that second seat, and very well aware, Councillor James Fleming.
Councillor James Fleming, thank you. Thank you, Councillor Channer. I can therefore move that the membership of the Appointments Board for the municipal year to May 2022 is the leader of the Council or Deputy, the Chairman or Vice Chairman of the Strategy and Resources and Performance Governance and Audit Committees, Councillor W. Helm and Councillor Jane Fleming. Do I have a seconder? Councillor Stamp, thank you. Can we agree that by assent, members? Thank you very much. I therefore declare that so. Agenda item 20 is the appointment of representatives to local government and outside bodies. And therefore we move to this agenda item, which is found in your supplementary pack, pages 13 to 22. Before I call on the leader to introduce this item, please note that under recommendation 2, representatives for the following outside body has yet to be agreed. That is the Stowe-Maries Aerodrome Consultative Committee. Leader, please introduce the report.
Yeah, thank you, Chairman. Members, I hope you can hear me better. The purpose of this report is to consider the appointment and representative to serve on the local government and outside bodies for the municipal year to May 2022. The recommendations, little one, is that the appointment of representatives to local government and outside bodies as detailed in Appendix 1 be agreed for the remainder of the municipal year. Little 2, that the representatives are not approved and that the representatives are not approved and those highlighted in section 3.51 members to appoint these outside body seats. Now that is, as the Chairman's just said, the Stowe-Maries Aerodrome Consultative Committee, and we will go back to that one. And 3, that the members appoint the representatives to local government and outside bodies are responsible for sharing minutes of meetings attended be stored centrally on the Malden Gov Library as per the details in section 3.6. And do I have a seconder for those? Thank you.
Councillor Mays, thank you.
So members, I think we can agree little 1 and 2 as being okay. Is that all right, members, by assent? And then we'll just do little 2.
We agree that by assent, members.
Thank you. So, members, we have only one, but I'd actually like to thank the members of the opposition leader and the DAGs for all the hard work that has gone in to agree all these committees and outside bodies and working groups, and the compromise from the independent group as well, and for actually accommodating some of the difficult choices and decisions, but congratulate Councillor Helm and Councillor Channer and all our groups and members for coming to this. To say there's only one that we've got to take a vote on is admirable, and thank you for the collaborative working. So moving on, members, I would like to, if we all turn to the page, we've got 2 nominations. I'd like to propose that Councillor Stephen Nunn and Councillor Kevin Langan are our representatives on the Stowe-Maries Aerodrome Consultative Committee. Can I have a seconder?
Councillor Mays.
Do I have an alternative, please? Councillor Channer.
I'm sorry, sit down, stand up actually, can't see you very really. Just to say, Chairman, council stand is correct, I think council stand as well. For obviously we did spend quite a bit of time talking about things, I'm glad that we were able to come to an agreement, and also council stand did relinquish recently some areas, so I do thank her for that listening. Not argument, but it was just discussion we had. Regarding Stomaris, I'd like to propose that really council is invited to be on there. She has been on it for a while. And the reason being is she is a ward member of the area. And this body is not to do with leadership or about heritage and culture going on. It's really about making representations of behalf of residents in that area. Of course, Councillor White has a Stomaris, Colton and Purley. And therefore, the ward member would have the knowledge and have the contact with the residents within their ward to actually, deliver comments, etc., and advice to residents in that ward, and also to collaborate or discuss or, be able to sort issues out with Stomaris. And I am aware that has been beneficial to that consultative committee chair in the past when the ward member on there. So I would propose that State Council White does take on those positions.
Thank you, Councillor Channer. Is that seconded? Councillor Beale. I will take then the first proposal, which is Councillor Nunn and Councillor Lagan as being those representatives. Could I ask, please, for you to show if you are in favour of Councillor Nunn and Councillor Lagan? Please hold up your indicators. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
No. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16.
16. Those against? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9. Okay, that is agreed then. Councillor Nunn and Councillor Lagan will be those representatives. Thank you, members. We move on now to agenda item 21, the appointment of members to serve on working groups. These were found in supplementary pack pages 23 to 26, and I now call on the leader to present the report. Leader.
Thank you, Chairman. This purpose of the report is to appoint members to serve on the working groups of the Council for the municipal year to May 2022. The recommendations are that members approve the nominations provided for the working groups in Appendix 1, that the nominations are not, that where nominations were not approved, members appoint these working group seats. I've just put members, please note 3.2 of the report, just in case members haven't read it thoroughly. The following groups have been removed from the list. The Asset Management Working Group, this work has been picked up elsewhere in commercial activity. The SIL, Community Infrastructure Levy Working Group, which we worked so hard to get on, has been subsumed into the Planning Policy Working Group and has been removed without meeting, I believe. And the Malden Market Member Task and Finish Working Group, the Malden Market Incorporated into COVID-19 Reset and Recovery. I would like to propose that we agree all the recommendations on the working groups by assent and en masse. Do I have a seconder, please?
Councillor Mays. Members, can we agree that by assent? Thank you very much. Agenda item 22, which is the annual report of the Overview and Scrutiny Committee. This is found on pages 33 to 36. I will now call on Councillor Vanessa Bell to present the report. Councillor Bell.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The purpose of this report is to provide an update on the activities of the Overview and Scrutiny Committee since October 2019 and to seek approval of future arrangements for the committee to report to Council on an annual basis.
So the recommendation is that the principles of the Overview and Scrutiny Committee submitting an annual report on its work, each statutory annual meeting of the council is endorsed, and that this update is both noted and also accepted as the annual report for 2020-2021. I so move.
Thank you, Councillor Bell. Do I have a seconder? Councillor Mays. Thank you.
Question, please, Chair.
Councillor Morris.
Yeah, can I just have it noted on the minutes that I do believe that at 3.5.2.1, that item of scrutiny has been kicked into the long grass by the officers. Thank you.
If I could come back on that, so.
Yes, Councillor Bell.
That assertion is simply not true, and we're actively working with officers on that.
They've kicked it into the long grass.
All right, thank you very much. Members, I'm going to, so I have a seconder. I'm going to take that to the vote. Can we agree that recommendation by assent? Thank you very much. Agenda item 23, business by reason of special circumstance considered by the chairman to be urgent. There is none. I now move to agenda item 24, which is the exclusion of the press and public. And therefore, I move that the council resolves that under section 100A(4) of the Local Government Act 1972, the public be excluded from the meeting for the following item of business on the grounds that it involves the likely disclosure of exempt information as defined in paragraph 3 of part 1 of schedule 12A to the Act, and that this satisfies the public interest test. I so move. Is that seconded? Councillor Mays, thank you very much. And so, members of the public and press, I have to say thank you for your time here, and we will now be closing the live stream.